Elizabeth Taylor in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. In 1966, Elizabeth Taylor made headlines for a transformation that defied every rule of classic Hollywood glamour. For her role as Martha in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, she reportedly gained between 20 and 30 pounds, an unorthodox move for an actress long celebrated for her beauty. At just 34, Taylor embraced aging makeup, shapeless wardrobe choices, and a deliberately unkempt appearance to portray a bitter, middle-aged wife unraveling in real time. The contrast with her earlier roles in films like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof or Cleopatra was stark and intentional. This wasn't just method acting, it was a career pivot. Some film historians call it a turning point in how women could be portrayed on screen. Rumors circulated that her drastic shift pushed then-husband and co-star Richard Burton to elevate his own intensity, with some speculating their real-life marital battles added extra bite to the film's emotional chaos. While technically released at the tail end of the classic Hollywood era, the film's raw dialogue and emotional volatility helped erode the fading production code, signaling a shift toward more adult, realistic storytelling. Taylor didn't just gain weight, she shed the constraints of a studio-crafted image and helped usher in a new kind of leading lady. Marlon Brando in Mutiny on the Bounty. Marlon Brando's physical transformation in Mutiny on the Bounty wasn't just dramatic, it became a production ordeal. During filming in 1962, Brando reportedly gained between 30 and 40 pounds, triggering a series of logistical headaches. Costume designers scrambled to adjust wardrobe fittings, while directors relied on inventive camera angles to mask the inconsistency. Behind the scenes, tensions escalated. MGM's original budget of $10 million eventually soared to nearly $19 million, making it one of the most expensive films of its era. While weather delays and remote location challenges played a role, much of the studio's frustration centered on Brando's unpredictable behavior. According to biographer Peter Manso, Brando dismissed dietary restrictions and indulged in rich Tahitian cuisine. Some legends even claim he had full meals delivered to set by canoe. Creative clashes only intensified the chaos. Brando reportedly demanded script rewrites and attempted to direct scenes himself, leading to the ousting of director Carol Reed, whose health and mounting production issues also contributed to his departure. Louis Milestone was brought in as a replacement, but the damage was done. When the film debuted in November of 1962, critics were divided. Some admired Brando's brooding take on Fletcher Christian. Others saw it as excessive, in more ways than one. Still, the weight gain, rumored indulgence, and behind-the-scenes drama became inseparable from the film's legacy, reinforcing Brando's image as both a brilliant performer and a disruptive force in classic Hollywood. Bert Lancaster in The Birdmen of Alcatraz. In 1962's The Birdmen of Alcatraz, Bert Lancaster reportedly underwent a striking physical transformation to portray Robert Stroud, a reclusive inmate who spent decades in solitary confinement. While exact figures remain unverified, many film historians note that Lancaster visibly slimmed down, adopting a gaunt, hollow-cheeked appearance that mirrored Stroud's isolated existence. Some accounts suggest he followed a disciplined regimen to achieve the look, though specific details remain elusive. The role earned Lancaster an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor, and his restrained, physically altered performance is often cited as one of his most committed. Legend suggests that director John Frankenheimer may have encouraged the transformation to emphasize the film's claustrophobic realism, especially given its reliance on tight framing and confined sets. Though no public controversy surrounded the weight change, quiet industry chatter questioned whether such physical demands were becoming too extreme. Interest in the film and Lancaster's performance saw a resurgence around its 60th anniversary in 2022, with critics revisiting the intense preparation that helped elevate the role to classic status. Audrey Hepburn in The Nun's Story. Audrey Hepburn in The Nun's Story from 1959 delivered one of her most stripped-down performances, physically and emotionally. Known for her slim figure, Hepburn appeared even more austere in this role, prompting speculation that she underwent a deliberate weight reduction to reflect the harsh realities of convent life. While no verified source confirms an exact number, biographers point to her disciplined diet and intense filming schedule as contributing factors. Some rumors suggest the role's emotional gravity tapped into Hepburn's own history. She had survived the Dutch famine during World War II, an ordeal that left lasting effects on her health and eating habits. This personal connection is often credited with giving her portrayal of Sister Luke a haunting authenticity. Her performance earned her an Academy Award nomination and marked a shift in her career, from fashion icon to dramatic powerhouse willing to forgo glamour for grit. Ingrid Bergman in Anastasia. 6 years after being cast out of Hollywood, Ingrid Bergman returned to the screen in Anastasia, leaner, subdued, and worlds away from the polished icon seen in Casablanca. Released in December of 1956, the film marked not just a comeback, but a reinvention. Bergman adopted a noticeably thinner, more austere appearance to portray Anna Anderson, a woman who claimed to be the last surviving daughter of Tsar Nicholas II. The transformation was deliberate, gone with the glamorous silhouettes and radiant charm. In their place, hollow cheeks, muted tones, and a haunted gaze shaped by costume designer Mary Wills and makeup artist Ben Nye. Every detail served the character's fractured identity and post-trauma disorientation. The visual shift stunned audiences. Critics praised Bergman's stripped-down performance, raw, restrained, and deeply psychological. It was a sharp contrast to her earlier roles, and the Academy took note. On March 27, 1957, she won the Oscar for Best Actress, but the deeper shock came from how completely she abandoned the Hollywood ideal of beauty. In an era where appearance was currency, Bergman's choice to look fragile and nearly unrecognizable was almost rebellious. Some film historians speculate that Bergman's personal history, publicly condemned in 1950 for her relationship with director Roberto Rossellini, mirrored the emotional exile of her character. U.S. Senator Edwin C. Johnson even denounced her on the Senate floor, calling her a powerful influence for evil. Her return in Anastasia wasn't just artistic, it was symbolic. The role allowed her to grapple with themes of identity, rejection, and redemption on screen, just as she had off it. At the time, the real Anna Anderson's identity was still a mystery. DNA testing decades later would debunk her claim, but in 1956 the ambiguity added intrigue to the film. Bergman leaned into that uncertainty, blurring the line between delusion and memory in a way that made audiences question everything they thought they knew. About Anastasia, about Bergman, and about transformation itself. Alec Guinness in The Bridge on the River Kwai. In 1957, Alec Guinness's transformation for The Bridge on the River Kwai was subtle but significant, reflecting his meticulous approach to character work. To portray Colonel Nicholson, a British officer imprisoned in a Japanese POW camp during World War II, Guinness immersed himself in the physical and psychological realities of captivity. He adopted a leaner, more rigid posture, embodying the discipline and resolve expected of a career military man. Guinness reportedly lost weight to achieve a more gaunt, weathered appearance, and he spent countless hours perfecting the character's stoic mannerisms. Every gesture and line delivery was carefully considered, emphasizing Nicholson's unwavering sense of duty and pride even in the face of adversity. Beyond the physical transformation, Guinness's nuanced performance captured the complex psychological toll of war and the ambiguities of leadership under extreme duress. He portrayed Nicholson as a man torn between his loyalty to his men, his adherence to military code, and the moral dilemmas posed by collaboration with the enemy. Guinness's subtle shifts in expression and tone revealed the internal conflict simmering beneath Nicholson's composed exterior. His ability to convey both vulnerability and authority lent the character a tragic depth, making Nicholson's journey from principled resistance to questionable complicity both compelling and unsettling. The interplay between Guinness and his co-stars, particularly Sessue Hayakawa as Colonel Saito, further heightened the film's dramatic tension. The film's critical and commercial success was due in no small part to Guinness's dedication and artistry. His performance earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor, and the film itself won multiple Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director for David Lean. Guinness's work in The Bridge on the River Kwai solidified his reputation as a master of transformation and character study, influencing generations of actors who followed. The film remains a landmark in cinematic history, not only for its epic storytelling and technical achievements, but also for the depth and humanity that Guinness brought to the role of Colonel Nicholson. His portrayal continues to be celebrated as one of the finest examples of screen acting from the golden age of Hollywood. Ray Milland in The Lost Weekend. Ray Milland's portrayal of Don Burnham in The Lost Weekend from 1945 is widely regarded as one of the most harrowing performances of classic Hollywood. The film, directed by Billy Wilder, dared to confront the taboo subject of alcoholism at a time when Hollywood often shied away from such unflinching realism. Millan's character, a struggling writer caught in the throes of addiction, became a vessel through which audiences could witness the devastating effects of substance dependence. The film's stark depiction of Don's downward spiral, from desperate attempts to procure alcohol to the emotional wreckage left in his wake, marked a significant departure from the sanitized narratives typical of the era. To convincingly depict a writer grappling with addiction, Millan immersed himself in the world of those struggling with substance dependence. He visited clinics and spoke with individuals facing similar challenges, absorbing their stories and mannerisms with a journalist's curiosity and an actor's sensitivity. Millan also adopted a gaunt, haggard appearance, reportedly subsisting on a restricted diet to achieve the look of someone in physical and emotional decline. He even spent time in Bellevue Hospital's alcoholic ward, observing patients and their behaviors firsthand. This level of commitment to authenticity was rare in 1940s Hollywood, and it allowed Millan to bring a raw vulnerability to his performance that resonated deeply with viewers. Millan's dedication paid off. His performance was both unflinching and deeply empathetic, earning him the Academy Award for Best Actor. The film itself won the Academy Award for Best Picture, and its success helped pave the way for more honest portrayals of addiction and mental health in cinema. Critics and audiences alike praised his transformation, noting how he captured not only the physical deterioration, but also the psychological torment of his character. Decades later, The Lost Weekend remains a landmark in film history, and Millan's work continues to serve as a benchmark for actors tackling difficult and stigmatized subject matter. His willingness to confront the darkest corners of human experience set a new standard for screen realism and emotional truth. Charlton Heston and Ben-Hur. Charlton Heston and Ben-Hur from 1959 didn't just play a Roman hero, he trained like one. Preparing for the role of Judah Ben-Hur meant months of intense physical conditioning to convincingly depict the character's brutal descent from aristocrat to galley slave. While there's no confirmed weight loss figure, Heston's leaner frame and hardened appearance were the result of a rigorous regimen that included horseback riding, sword training, and chariot handling, all staples of his preparation. Director William Wyler, known for his exacting standards, demanded realism at every turn. Some accounts suggest he pushed Heston to physically embody years of hardship, though others say the actor took it upon himself to meet the role's demands. The chariot race alone, filmed over 5 weeks under the unforgiving Italian sun, required Heston to perform in full Roman armor while steering a 4-horse chariot across a custom-built arena. The physical toll was undeniable, and behind-the-scenes whispers hinted at exhaustion on set, though nothing was officially documented. Rumors have long circulated that Wyler's relentless pace during filming may have led to tension between actor and director, but Heston never publicly complained. Instead, he delivered a performance that helped the film dominate the box office and sweep 11 Academy Awards. Ben-Hur became the gold standard for epic cinema, and Heston's transformation, more sweat than spectacle, was key to its legacy. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment. Also consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to get notified of our new videos each week. Thanks for watching.